What do my gente, you boys coming through once again. And on today's video, we're going to talk about Cesar Hernandez. I'm going to give you the background story behind this individual, what he did, how much he got sentenced, and how he eventually managed to escape from a prison in California, right? But before we continue with this video, man, don't forget to hit the like, throw a comment, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, man, hit the subscribe button real quick because it doesn't cost you nothing. And at the end of the day, you're helping my channel get bigger and bigger and bigger until hopefully one time Dorito is going to be our sponsor, because those who know me know how I love chips. So with this being said, muchas gracias for those who've been supporting the channel, the new subscribers, muchas gracias, highly appreciate it. So let's get to this video. So on June 24 of 2018, Cesar Hernandez and his girlfriend went to a bar called Las Cariñosas, right? Which is in LA. Apparently his girlfriend used to work right there at one point, and Cesar Hernandez used to go and kick it right there, right? Eventually, for some reason, his girlfriend ended up quitting that job. And on this night, they went back, and the girlfriend asked for the job back, right? Something happened later on the night, like midnight, in where they got in a fight. His girlfriend left the bar. Eventually, Cesar left the bar as well, but just to move his car from where he had parked it, move it to a different parking lot, right? Eventually, Cesar came back into the Cariñosas, went to the woman's restroom looking for his girlfriend. Apparently, he couldn't find his girlfriend, so he was very upset. Something had to happen. I don't know if he was mad that his girlfriend had asked for the job back or whatever, but he was pretty upset, right? Well, there was this individual in the bar as well who didn't have no interaction or nothing like that, didn't speak or nothing like that. And eventually, after Cesar had left the bar, this individual left as well. So both of them were getting out of the parking lot. And all of a sudden, something had to happen in where maybe Cesar got upset about this guy in the truck. Something had to happen. You already know how that goes, man. The car gets in front of you. Maybe he hit you or something. Something had to happen on the parking lot, and where basically the truck was getting away. Somehow, some way, Cesar was following this individual. End up cutting him, basically making him stop. That's when Cesar got out of his car and basically shot him, right? Got back in his car and took off. Eventually, that was it, right? So the following morning, the girlfriend didn't show up. So that's kind of suspicious, right? Because apparently she knows what the boyfriend did, right? So they left. Eventually, on August 3rd, 2018, Cesar got involved in a car crash. He was driving a different type of car, not the same car that he committed that crime. And right there and then, he got arrested. Apparently, they were looking for him. So he got booked in. Eventually, within a month, September 24, 2018, they end up finding that car in Tijuana. Apparently, his girlfriend lives in Tijuana. And right there makes me question, okay, well, Gato probably has more connections at Tijuana that we all knew, right? And I'm pretty sure all of this is on black and white. It's paperwork. It's out there for the public, man. So this is public information that the cops already know. I'm just putting it out there so just for you guys to know, right? So they found the car, and from right there, it's all bad. So apparently in April 2019, he got found guilty. You know, it only lasted 8 months until they find him guilty. By May 6, 2019, he was already sentenced to 80 years to life for the unaliving of Edgar Vasquez. By June 24, 2019, he had already landed in prison in California, and he was in reception, right? So it's time to kick it with the fellas, be part of the group, stuff like that. As many of you guys know, this guy's involved, the Southsider from Linwood, and he was doing what he was required to do, right? It's functioning with the fellas, right? Because he has a lot of points, has a lot of years, he's a lifer. He's gonna land on the level 4, and for those who know, level 4s, you have to carry weapons. You know what I mean? You have to carry weapons because it's not a fun game. So apparently this individual is in Kern Valley. In some way, somehow end up getting busted with a manufactured weapon and controlled substances in itself. So what does this mean? It means that the DA is going to pick up the case and he's going to start going to court because he's going to fight the case, right? So he started going to court. What I have noticed is usually that they run courts for prisoners every 2 months, right? So you go to court every 2 months. So one thing I can tell you right here is that when I was in prison, Juan Maselli was going to court for a manufactured weapon, right? So one thing that he used to tell me is like, man, it is easy to escape. Like it is, like he used to tell me that it was easy to escape based on the fact that a lot of those cops are not even paying attention. They just want to get paid and that's it, right? So Cesar Hernandez, being him, he noticed and saw that gap, right? Understand that there was an opportunity and he was not willing to let it go. One thing that I know is that sometimes they don't tell you when court is going to be, right? But if you If you pay attention, and sometimes when people messed up, man, they'll tell you the date because the cops know the date, right? So this individual, I'm assuming he started planning because there's no way he was gonna escape without help, especially from a different county that is like 2 hours away from his city. So in the cell, Cesar Hernandez decided to create what we call a makeshift key. Those who've been in the hole, those who've been in NatSec know what I'm talking about. Usually you have a key just in case it cracks down so you can get out of your handcuffs and defend yourself or get into action, right? So this individual, somebody told him how to do it. He put that to work and he decided to create a plan and go for it, right? So on December 2nd, 2024, he put the plan into action. As he was being transported in a van, this individual started messing with the lock and managed to open his cuffs. After he opened his cuffs, he went ahead and do his shackles. One thing I would like to explain to you guys is before in prison, they used to have something that was called a black box. So it was like a big black box that was in between your cuffs, right? Eventually you couldn't mess with the lock because your hands would be separated, right? So when they decided to take away the black box for whatever reason, apparently what I know about them is that they were very uncomfortable. I had Sallys that were going to medical and stuff like that, and they had to wear the black box, right? And it was very uncomfortable. So they decided to take them away. So Cesar Hernandez decided to use this for his advantage and got off the handcuffs and he got off the shackles. So now they stopped at court. The cops, not knowing what this individual had done, they're probably over there talking about what they were going to do, what they were going to eat, in and out. Sometimes when they take you to transportation, they stop at a McDonald's, they stop at an In and Out, they stop somewhere to eat, right? Because those individuals, probably their hyena, their wives, they don't have nothing to cook for them. These guys are making good money, right? So, man, go over there and buy yourself something good. So this guy's enjoying their stuff, maybe telling Cesar Hernandez, hey, man, if you behave today, man, we're going to give you a hamburger. Because sometimes it happens like that. All of a sudden, they decide to open the door for this individual. So what happened? Apparently, Cesar Hernandez kicked one of the cops and just booked it. He started running. He ran for his life. I'm pretty sure at that time, the cops were like in shock because they didn't understand what was going on. But after they realized, they went and chased him. According to his statements, when they see Cesar Hernandez, this guy had a big old gap, especially in the parking lot. They had a big gap. Don't forget, he jumped the fence and he booked it. He ended up running through an empty lot, and where you can see a video and where a cop is chasing him, right? And then he's pointing that gun at Cesar Hernandez, but he's not shooting. Of course, they are allowed to shoot, but they have to have a clear aim. If you pay attention, there was houses on the other side, and this individual was running. Instead of just taking his time, taking a knee and aiming, this individual decided to chase him and let Cesar get away. Now, the thing and the obvious thing that would happen, it was that CDCR would inform CHP or the police department in Delano, hey man, we have this, can you assist us? But no, CDCR decided to take their time, which gave Cesar Hernandez time enough to get away. Now, the thing about this is very obvious. How this individual managed to get away from right there and so quick, right? There's no reports of somebody stealing a car, carjacking. So apparently he had a help. Somebody had to help him in order for him to escape, right? Which you haven't heard about that in prison, especially from a level 4. That's something big. It's not something normal to do, Especially since he was in a level 4, that's something very rare. That's a high security prison, right? You have always hear about people escaping from the level 1, level 2, which basically they don't even have an electrified fence. So they just jump the fence, they go to their house, they throw a palo, or they do whatever they're gonna do, and they end up getting caught within days or weeks, and that's it, right? But no, this individual escaped from a high security prison as he was being transported to go to court. 2 officers with weapons, and he managed to escape. Now, this individual somehow made it to Tijuana, and like I said before, his girlfriend lived in Tijuana, or maybe still lives in Tijuana, I don't know. But he managed to go to Tijuana and stayed over there for 4 or 5 months. So after 4 months of being on the run, of being in TJ, right? The U.S. Marshals got a tip and where they told the Mexican individuals who are in charge of this that they needed to get this fugitive who was hiding on this house. That's when they went into this private residencial in where there was a shootout. And eventually, Cesar Hernandez managed to escape for the second time, even though he was surrounded by 300 police officers, including the U.S. Marshals and helicopters. As for right now, man, nobody has heard about Cesar Hernandez. But one thing I tell you is that right now, Tijuana is surrounded by military, doing checkpoints, and it's very hot. So with this being it, we are out. To next video. Muchas gracias. Highly appreciate every single one of you guys. Saludos.